It's important to educate people the problems that we've seen that people get themselves into because they're not educated properly. My name is Andrew John, and I'm one of the owners of John's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, which is a 54-year-old family business. It's still owned by me, my dad, and my mom. I'm just here to support my entire team so that they can give our customers the best experience possible. When I grew up working with my dad, I thought that the way we did things was normal. I thought that there was only one way to be in the air conditioning business, right? And the fact is that's not true. There's a lot of ways people are in this business. So for me, it's important to educate people. It's important to talk about the things that I've seen. It's important to talk about the problems that we've seen that people get themselves into because they're not educated properly. We want you to be as informed as possible to make the best decisions for you and your family on anything that has to do with your heating, cooling needs, HVAC system. So the best time to replace your air conditioning system is obviously before it breaks, right? Because now we're in a panic mode. We really don't have the ability to make an informed choice, most likely. So average life is in that 10 to 12 year mark. Generally, we recommend people start thinking about replacement either right before that or going into that time frame. But again, generally before it breaks. Yes, all air conditioning units will blow hot or cold air, but are they really giving you the things that you're looking for you and your family? Are they giving you options that you may even not know that are available today? So the answer is it's better to have and make an informed decision based on a discussion with a professional. Most people, when they got into their home, really didn't have a choice about what type or what went into the air conditioning system that's in their home. The reality is that unit's probably 10 to 12 years old. Lots of things have changed in the air conditioning world since then. We have, again, more efficiency. We have better comfort. We have better ways to control your allergies and asthmas and things like that. So we have all these new things that you just may not know about. What's really going to give me what I want? And the best thing is to sit down with a professional, have them talk to you, have them find or ask you questions to help lead toward an end result that gives you everything you wanted. You see two of the exact same car. One of them's $50,000, the other one's $20,000. For the most part, most people are gonna go, hey, what's wrong with the cheap one? Air conditioning is different, but yet the same. Without knowing what's going into it, without knowing whether it's giving you everything that you want, everything that is gonna be a benefit to you and your family, without knowing that it's the best system for your home, not your neighbor's home, not your parents' home, not your best friend's home, but for your home, because we all have specific needs. It's really hard to say, what is the cost? Besides price, what are other things to be considered when replacing your AC? Look at it as a complete system in your home. Right? This isn't a box that goes in and just blows hot or blows cold. The box is meant to make you comfortable. It's meant to make you more healthy. It's meant to give you a certain level of energy savings based on what your future plans are or what you're trying to accomplish with you and your family. A lot of times I talk about the whole solar thing, right? Lots of people are thinking about solar. Well, the air conditioning system that we would recommend for someone with solar is not the same air conditioning system we would recommend for somebody who's never going to do solar. Maybe they come to the same end result, but you're looking at two different pathways. So what I see a lot of times is a company just asking some kind of what I would call more canned questions, right? How big is your house? What size do you currently have? Do you use gas to heat and cool? Those questions don't really lead you to a great solution for your home. It's really important to have somebody who's going to come in, ask the right questions to lead us down the path that allows us to put a system together for you. So a professional comes in, he not only asks you questions, does an evaluation of your home, looks in the attic, looks through the home itself, makes recommendations based on what they see and on the things that you tell us. So at the end of the day, what you're getting is exactly what you told us you wanted, not what we think is best for you. You could say that there are some advantages and some disadvantages for buying a system online. The advantages, maybe it's easy, not sure. You don't have to deal with anybody. You just answer some questions and you get to some result, right? The disadvantages, you don't know what that result is. I just bought some new appliances, right? I didn't buy them online. I went down to the local store. We opened the doors. We listened to them. We looked at the lights inside. We looked at the different options within the same brand. We came to an end result by being able to look at it, understand what it did, ask questions to the professionals, and I'll guarantee you what I bought was not what I went in there to get, right? Air conditioning is kind of the same way. If you don't have somebody that knows the questions to ask, most likely you're going to get something that blows hot or blows cold and doesn't really give you any other benefits. Yes, you can, but there are some things to think about. The number one thing that controls the quality longevity of the unit is the day it's installed, right? The day it's born. These are complicated pieces of equipment, and the tools that you have are generally not what you're going to have sitting in your garage. So there's some complications there. Have I done this before? Do I really know all the things that it takes to get this thing done right and install it properly? All those steps that as professionals we take because we know the important things to make it last the longest that it can. And then you have to think about things like warranties. You know, who's going to warranty it? Who's going to work on it? There's a lot more to the question other than let me Google search it, order it online, get it delivered to my house, and just install it. Most manufacturers will only give you a warranty based on the fact that a licensed contractor bought the unit and installed the unit. Unfortunately, in these days that we live in, if you look at the average air conditioning system, it has a 10-year warranty on all parts, generally somewhere between 1 to 3 years on the labor, and the labor part of it, only from a licensed contractor. You cannot get that from a manufacturer. Warranties are getting very complicated. As an example, the manufacturers now have websites that you have to go to when you find a unit that's under a parts warranty. You have to check to make sure that it was actually registered, right, by the installing contractor with an installation date, etc. And if you don't find that information in there, they most generally will deny the warranty. How important is after-sales care? I always liken it to your car, right? There's pretty much no one that buys a car and goes for 20, 30, 40, 50,000 miles and never changes the oil, right? It's just something that we do. Your air conditioning system is really the same. It runs more than any other appliance in your home, right? You think about last summer, right? Average temperature in July was over 110 degrees. Let's think about how long that thing ran and how much stress was put on it. Things will break. So why do we do maintenance? Why do we do preventative things? Because when's it generally going to break, right? If you never look at it and you're just saying, hey, we hope it's not going to break, well, it's going to break 4th of July weekend, right? It's going to break when lots of companies are out of town, or it's going to break in the middle of the night. So now you're up, you have work, you have kids to go to school, you have dogs, you have everything. That preventative maintenance that we do every preseason, every postseason is exactly made to make sure that you're not going to have those problems.